We're so happy to be premiering our film here. So it's our world premiere and 20 years of the festival, and it's a great place to be and a great place to be doing it.
My name's Steven Tyler O'Connor.
Mark Elias.
Kimberly Westbrook.
Bree Irvin.
Paul Koulos.
Stony Westmoreland.
Patricia Mizen.
We have a feature film. It's called Golden Boy. I like to say it drives him crazy, but I like to say that it's like a gay love story set in a Pulp Fiction world.
There's sex, there's booze, there's nudity. Like, what else do you want? Come on.
And a really nice love story.
Yeah. Bree and I were both producers on the project.
It's one of those things, as much as you can plan and have all your ducks in a row, it's a lot of just anticipating and getting ready for the other things that just don't always go as planned, and working together and collaborating on like the best things to do in those situations and thinking quickly on your feet. And it was wonderful to have a great producing partner in crime with that.
Biggest challenge as a director, biggest challenge is budget. Well, the favorite part of work on the film was Mark is in the movie, and working with Mark and us working that closely together was very nice. And it's difficult to work with your partner, but there it is.
Amazing to see something that you created and sat down one day and wrote and started writing, and seeing it come to life is like, I don't know, it's like a mini dream come true. It's like a daydream come true.
Steven Tyler O'Connor has had a couple of films. You know Steven, fantastic guy. He's the producer of our film, so he knows the festival very well, and was like, we have to do this festival. Like, okay, no, we have to do.
Why did you have to do this festival?
Well, because I think it has such prestige and it's so well known. And because we have an LGBT film, it's one of the jewels in the LGBT crown, and so we wanted to make sure that we were here. And what Steven does is he's unyielding. He's a pain in the ass, but he's unyielding. And what I love about it is that he holds my feet to the fire and makes me accountable. And therefore, I'm able then to turn around and hopefully keep everybody else accountable as I'm trying to steer this ship.
The film is about a man named James, and in a very short amount of time, he sort of loses everything. His job, his apartment, his car, and a benefactor sort of comes into his life and sort of takes him under the wing and sort of introduces him to a different way of life. But when he gets introduced to society, he spirals out of control and gets consumed by like sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
You're at the 20th Annual Film Out San Diego Film Festival. How does that feel?
We were talking, like, this has been at least a 3-year journey that is now finally here. This is what we've been working for 3 years, from planning it to executing it to making sure that then all the raw footage comes together and tells a cohesive story, and then it looks good and sounds great. So it's been a 3-year journey, and we're so excited to be here, and I love Film Out San Diego. So
why do you love Film Out San Diego?
Well, they have been super supportive of me and my films, so I love all the volunteers here, everybody who works at the festival. I love San Diego as a city, and just like, you guys have been so supportive of me, and I love you guys for that, and I do what I can to sort of bring you guys good content because I want to keep coming back.
You know, I think anytime you start a project, you're passionate about the project itself, right? And the compelling story elements. And sometimes you just kind of look at people as your colleagues. But I think for me, and especially because it has been like a 3-year journey through all of this, I've come to find these people to be some of my good friends now. And I turn to them when I have things outside in my personal life now. And I think that that's been a really nice thing.
Yeah.
And I'm so appreciative of the people who I see as some of my best friends now.
Can I just say one really quick thing? And I'm sorry, I know we're trying to wrap up, but every filmmaker out here, you should look at every actor, not only up here on this stage, but also in the other films. I saw great films last night, and then I saw this beautiful film from Germany today. It was just the soccer film. Oh my God, it was beautiful. I think it's incumbent upon us as producers and directors to cast among our community. And at the same time, it's incumbent upon these actors to make themselves available to the producers and to the directors. And if we're not doing that for each other, then no one is doing it for us.
I can honestly say, like, we were really blessed. Mark and I have been friends for a while, so the addition of Patricia and Paul were really a blessing to our cast. I know that when we were working together on like the initial script and writing and stuff, like, we didn't really, you have your vision, but then when it actually comes together and the people who actually come out to be a part of the film, like, you can't even imagine. It's like exponentially better than anything that you imagine.
We shot a ton of photos, and it was all in one morning, in Stephen's living room against the wall, and I just took off clothes, put on clothes, took off all my clothes. It was a hell of a morning, and then we went and shot more right after that. It was nonstop the entire time. There wasn't a moment wasted Well, indie films are, kind of oppressed by the budget, but so you can only take so much time. But that said, I came in pretty late into the filming process. You guys were already, I think, a week in when I started filming. And with that said, like, we had Stoney and Benham, who was also on set. It was a wonderful, like, for me, he was kind of like my character's spirit animal. They were so generous. He would like come up to me and give me some of the most like wonderful like ideas to like fill the character. He was so insightful, and we had like a really good collaboration the entire time. So like even with the pressures of like, we have deadlines, we want to make sure we get this done in budget and everything like that, we still like had all this time to like talk in like depth about these characters and these moments. And Mark and I have so much intimacy in this film that we had to build that it was really important that we kind of get these things hashed out.
The camaraderie with the whole cast and the crew, it's amazing. I mean, we had so much fun. I mean, we're like family now, and we have each other's back, and we're...
Well, congratulations on being selected for the 20th Annual Film Out San Diego Film Festival. What is your experience with Film Out or San Diego?
This is my first Film Out. I'm really, really impressed. I wish I had been here the other 19 years.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, maybe you'll come back.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I've always loved San Diego. I come every year for Comic-Con. I'm a big nerd, so I have like super soft spot for San Diego. Anytime I can take the train down, just enjoy the day. It's a beautiful city. I love it.
You avoided using labels in this film. How did that work out?
Everybody thinks that the world is black and white, and it's not. And gender is a spectrum, and sexuality is a spectrum. And me using a label is because that's how I need to label it in my mind. But we don't want to label these characters because maybe those characters don't live by those labels.
And the world that we're living in is all about fluidity and about loving individuals, not necessarily categorizing you in places. Now, politically, we still have to fight those fights. But honestly, among our community, we have to recognize the fact that the fluidity is so powerful.
I feel like you should be able to define who you are and what you are however you want. So for me, I feel like that reflects in the script, but it's not a hit them over the head message. It's part of these characters, and they live in the world as who they are. Nobody really apologizes for it because they shouldn't have to.
I also feel the same way. I just think it's important for those of us who may be more fluid than others, to remember that politically there's only one choice, and that is to fight those fights and not to hide. And so men who are having sex with men, or men who identify as bi, or men who identify as fluid, that's our women as well. That's the battle that needs to be fought politically, and you can never back off that battle.
I guess then we're wrapping up. Thank you all very much. Let's give them one more round of applause, everybody. Thank you for being here.